Hello, my name is Anonymous. I'm a mother of two beautiful children. Let's imagine that one day I took them for a walk through the forest. While we were enjoying the fresh air, suddenly little Alice stopped. She had found something strange. It was a small stone, about the size of her hand, smooth and polished. But what really caught her attention was that it was glowing faintly with a soft light, and she could have sworn she heard it talking to her. "Are you the chosen one?" Little Ala looked around. Who said that? But no one answered. Perhaps she had just imagined it, holding the stone in her hands. La continued walking through the forest until the trees suddenly began to blur and fade away. When her vision cleared, she realized that she was no longer in the familiar forest. Instead, she stood in a clearing, and all around her were the most beautiful flowers she had ever seen. They were huge, brightly colored, and exuded a sweet fragrance. And in the distance, she could hear the sound of birds singing merrily. "Where am I, Ayla?" asked herself. At that moment, the stone in her hand began to glow brightly, and a tiny smiling face appeared on its surface. "Welcome to the enchanted land of fairy tales," the stone said. "I am Magma, your guide and companion during your journey." La was very surprised, but she soon realized that this was no ordinary stone. It was a magical creature who had been waiting for her for a very long time. The stone explained that he had been searching for the chosen one who would come to rescue their land from an evil curse. Ala learned that she had been chosen because of her kindness and courage. However, before she could return home, she had to help the fairies restore magic to the land by solving 3 riddles and defeating the evil sorcerer Malazar. Ala knew that it would be dangerous, but she couldn't bear the thought of all these beautiful creatures living in fear. She decided to help them. And so, together with Magma, she embarked on a journey through the enchanted land. As they walked along a winding path, the forest grew darker and darker, and soon the sun was completely hidden behind the trees. Suddenly, they heard a loud crash, and a terrible monster jumped out from behind a log. It was a clumsy troll with sharp teeth and claws. He growled menacingly at Ayla, blocking her way. Well, what do we have here?" the troll sneered. "A tasty morsel has fallen into my clutches." Ayla felt a surge of fear, but she quickly pushed it away. She wouldn't let this monster scare her. "Let me pass, monster," she said firmly. "I have important business." The troll burst into laughter. "And what business could be more important than pleasing the great Grug?" he asked. Ala noticed that the troll wasn't paying attention to Magma, who was hiding behind her. She had an idea. Taking a deep breath, she pretended to be scared and said, "Oh, please don't eat me, Mr. Troll. I'm terrified." She purposely dropped her voice and exaggerated her fear. The troll was taken in by her performance and actually believed that he had scared her. "You humans are all alike," he said with a sneer. "So scared and weak." He reached out a huge hand to grab Ayla, when suddenly Magma jumped out from behind her and shouted, "Ayla, leave her alone, you dirty animal." The troll was so surprised by the talking stone that he momentarily forgot about Ayla. "A talking stone?" he repeated in disbelief. Before he could react, Ayla grabbed his hand and pulled it away from her. "Now let me go," she demanded. The troll hesitated for a moment, then slowly released her. Dala didn't waste a second and ran away as fast as she could. When she looked back, she saw the troll chasing after her. She could hear him getting closer with every step. Ayla quickened her pace, but she knew she wouldn't outrun him for long. She had to think of something else. Then she remembered what her grandmother had once told her. She had heard stories about trolls who got lost and confused if they crossed running water. Without thinking twice, Ala jumped over a nearby stream. Sure enough, the troll hesitated when he saw the water. He didn't want to get wet. Ala didn't waste a second and ran as fast as she could, until she reached the next stream. One by one, she jumped over all the streams, and with each jump, she could feel the troll's anger growing. Finally, when she was sure that she had outrun him, she turned around and saw that the forest had changed. The trees were now tall and majestic, and the sky was filled with colorful birds. In the distance, she could see a beautiful castle made of crystal. Overjoyed, Ayla ran towards it. As she approached the castle, she could hear beautiful music. When she stepped inside, she found herself in a large hall. In the middle of the room was a huge tree, and around it were gathered many fairies. Each of them was more beautiful than the last. They were all wearing elegant dresses, and their wings sparkled like diamonds. When the fairies saw Ala, they stopped dancing and stared at her in surprise. "Who are you?" one of the fairies asked cautiously. My name is Alla, she replied. I came to help you defeat the evil wizard Malazar. The fairies gasped when they heard this. You're the chosen one, they whispered to each other. Then the oldest and wisest fairy stepped forward. Welcome, Ayla, she said. We have been waiting for you. The fairy explained that the sorcerer Malazar had cast a spell on their land, stealing their magic and plunging the land into darkness. Only the chosen one can break the curse, she said. But first, she must pass 3 tests. Alla was determined to help the fairies. She had already faced many dangers and overcome them. She was ready for any challenge. Tell me what to do, she said bravely. The fairy nodded approvingly. The first test will be in the crystal cave. There you will face the guardian of secrets. Ayla thanked the fairy and set off on her journey to the crystal cave. On her way, she met many wonderful creatures who were happy to see that someone had finally come to help them. Alla reached the cave and saw that it was guarded by a huge, scary-looking creature. Who dares approach the crystal cave? The guardian boomed. I am Alla, she replied bravely. I have come to pass your test. The guardian looked at her for a moment, then said, Very well. Answer my riddle and you may enter. I have cities but no houses. I have mountains but no trees. I have water but no fish. What am I? Ayla thought for a moment. She had heard this riddle before. Are you a map? The guardian nodded. You are wise beyond your years, he said. Enter the cave. Ayla thanked the guardian and entered the cave. Inside, she found a pool of water in the center of the room, and above it hung a huge crystal. As soon as she approached the pool, the crystal began to glow brightly, and a voice echoed through the cave. Drink the potion and you shall understand the language of the stars. When the voice faded, Ayla opened the box with the potion. The liquid inside shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Taking a deep breath, she drank the potion. As soon as it touched her lips, a strange warmth spread through her body. Welcome, Ayla. I am Lyria, the spirit of the stars. I have been waiting for you. Ayla was amazed. You can talk to me, she asked incredulously. Of course I can talk to you. You have the gift of understanding the language of the stars, Lyra said proudly. Thank you, Ayla whispered, still in shock. She had never imagined that such a thing was possible. But how will this help me? She asked. This will help you to defeat the evil wizard Malazar, Lyria replied. He has stolen our magic, but only the language of the stars can defeat him. With that said, Lyra showed Ayla the way out of the cave. As soon as she stepped outside, the cave entrance disappeared, and she found herself in a dark, unfamiliar forest. All around her, strange plants swayed in the wind and eerie silence hung in the air. Lyra's voice echoed in her head again. Come to the Whispering Woods. Here you will face the second test. Suddenly a thorny bush appeared in front of her. Who goes there? A gruff voice demanded from inside. Ayla took a deep breath and said, I am Alla. I have come to help you. The thorns parted and a grumpy dwarf emerged. You're the chosen one, he muttered. Very well. Answer my riddle and you may pass. I have keys but no locks to open. I have space but no room. You can enter, but can't go outside. HMPH pass. Ayla hurried on. Deeper into the forest, she could feel that the trees were watching her, their branches reaching out like grasping claws. All around her, the darkness seemed to be closing in. But then suddenly, a clearing appeared ahead. In the middle of the clearing stood a beautiful white tree. Its branches were adorned with sparkling crystals, and a soft light emanated from its leaves. You have reached the third and final test, Lyria's voice whispered. Only the purest of heart can pass the test of the white tree. As Ayla approached the tree, she felt a surge of warmth and peace. Closing her eyes, she reached out a hand towards the tree and whispered, I am Alla, and I have come to help you. The tree seemed to glow brighter, and a gentle voice echoed through the clearing. Alla opened her eyes and saw that the clearing had changed. The white tree was now in full bloom, and around it were gathered all the fairies. They were all smiling at her, and their eyes sparkled with gratitude. You have passed all the tests, Lyria said. Now you can defeat Malazar. With that said, Lyria gave Ayla a small vial. This is the essence of starlight. Use it wisely. Ayla nodded and set off to find the evil wizard. As she walked through the forest, the trees seemed to part before her, and the animals whispered greetings. She could feel the power of the fairies' magic flowing through her. Finally, she reached a clearing where a dark castle loomed before her. Smoke billowed from its towers, and a sense of evil pervaded the air. Ayla took a deep breath and stepped forward. As she approached the castle, she could hear the laughter of the evil wizard Melazar. He had stolen the fairy's magic and ruled the land with an iron fist. Ayla was determined to stop him. Taking a deep breath, she raised the vial high and shouted, "I am Ayla, and I have come to defeat you, Melazar." The moment the words left her lips, the vial burst, and a wave of starlight erupted. The clearing was filled with a blinding light. Melazar screamed in anger and pain. As the light faded, Ayla saw that the wizard was gone. In his place was a small, withered tree. "What have I done?" Melazar's voice echoed weakly. "I am dying." She could have defeated him, but she didn't want an innocent life to be destroyed. "Why did you do it, Melazar?" she asked. The withered tree trembled. "I wanted to be powerful," he whispered. "I wanted to rule this land." "There is still time to change," Ayla said softly. "Give back the magic to the fairies, and I will help you." Melazar hesitated. "Will you forgive me?" he asked. "If you truly repent, I can forgive you," Ayla replied. Melazar closed his eyes and concentrated. A faint glow began to emanate from the withered tree. Suddenly the fairies appeared, surrounding Melazar. "Give us back our magic," they demanded. Melazar trembled. "Here it is," he whispered, and the fairies absorbed the magic. As the fairies flew away, their voices filled the clearing. "Thank you, Ayla. You have saved us." Ayla smiled, but she knew that her journey was not yet over. Turning to Melazar, she said, "Now let us see if you can truly change." Together with the fairies, Allah helped Melazar to repent for his sins. They planted a small seed, and over time, it grew into a beautiful tree. The clearing was filled with light and joy, and Allah knew that she had made the right choice. As the sun rose, the clearing began to fade. Allah knew that it was time to say goodbye. "Thank you for everything," she whispered to the fairies. "You are true friends forever." The fairies hugged her and promised to remember her forever. As the clearing vanished, Ayla found herself back in the forest. The sun was shining through the trees, and the birds were singing merrily. Beside her was the magical stone Magma. "We have one," he said with a smile. "Yes, we have one," Allah whispered. She knew that she had not only saved the fairies, but also made true friends. Together with Magma, she returned home, where she recounted her incredible adventures to her parents. Her story may have ended, but the memory of her bravery and kindness would live on forever in the enchanted land of fairy tales.